Buddy Panther0822, it is that time of the night. It is din time with Panther. So I am gonna give this a minute or two. I honestly don't schedule when these are gonna happen because I honestly don't usually know. I usually do them anywhere from about 10 p.m. to honestly 1 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time, comparatively. So it's hard for me to set an actual, like, this is when I'm going to be doing it, because the honest truth is even I don't know, because it depends on the day. It depends on what I'm doing. It depends on whether I have to go to bed early, and so because I've got an early appointment, or the wife has an early appointment, or we've got to do something like Sunday. Sunday's actually a really good example. Although I don't really do anything Sundays anyways, but Sunday's a good example. We've got to be up by 8:30 and out of the house. I mean, up no later than 8:30 and out of the house no later than 9, because we have to be somewhere by noon, and it's a 2.5 hour drive. So, it's just. Although I'm going to take a minute and listen to something. I am going to turn the mic off here for a minute, so I'll be right back. All right, well, functional enough, at least for a vlog purposes, go. So, there we go. Although the chat still actually has my, my message from the last stream that I just did, so. All right, and I'm gonna take a minute. I'm gonna share this out real fast. So, while I'm here, the wife tagged me in a post. Although I'll check that here in a few. Well, I hope everybody's doing okay. I know where I'm at, it's pretty late. It's 11:41 Pacific Standard Time where I'm at. So for those of you that are catching this on like the East Coast, where it's like 1 o'clock your time, thank you very much. Appreciate it. So, and then for those of you who are here in my time zone or within an hour, plus or minus, thank you very much. I very much appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna share that. And we'll get started here in a minute. So. All right. All right. Well, the upside is when it comes to whenever I do the vlogs, I actually have a little more active eye on the chat as far as that goes. So, so throw something in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I threw something in the chat. Just want to let you know, the one above it says "Peace out, guys." That was from the stream that I just finished. Doing. I took a little bit of a break. Kind of took a couple minutes to breathe and whatnot, and then I had to reset kind of a few things as far as getting this set up, because basically I've got to turn one thing off and then adjust and then bring something else up. So it takes me a minute or two. I mean, it doesn't take me terribly long, but it still takes me some time to get set up for this. So. Anyways, but if you're here, throw something in the chat for me. Let me know that you're here, and I'm going to give it another minute or two. Again, like I said, the wife sent me something. The wife sent me something, so I'm going to check that real quick and give people here a few minutes to kind of filter in, and then we'll get started. So until then, enjoy the music in the background. All right, well, that should be good enough. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here for Den Time with the Panther. For those of you who are new, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get notified whenever I do streams and uploads, because I do them Monday through Friday. Every now and again, I'll do a Saturday stream or upload, depending on my mood, but Monday through Friday, I've got stuff going. So so don't forget to hit those buttons so that you guys get notified when when I do things. So anyways, let's kind of go over some things. It's been kind of a couple days since I've done an official blog. Sorry, I'm taking care of something that I've been kind of needing to been taking care of for a while. So, anyways, it's been a couple days since I've done actually an official blog. I think my last official blog in time with the Panther was actually, I want to say, let's see here, today's Friday. I want to say Tuesday or Wednesday, somewhere around there. I know I kind of did one yesterday. It was kind of a little bit of a part of my my Dragon Age playthrough, but it wasn't actually kind of a blog. It was more me just kind of playing some Dragon Age, giving a little bit of a minor update and whatnot. But for the most part, it was just me screwing around with Dragon Age. So, speaking of which, if you haven't watched the Dragon Age series, I would highly encourage you to go to the playlist, pull up the Dragon Age playlist, and go through and watch that. I'm approximately, I want to say, 2/3 of the way through the game right now. No, halfway. I'm at the halfway mark. Although I guess you can consider I'm 2/3 of the way done, because right now I'm working on the, you have 3 different treaties that you have to get for Dragon Age Origins. I have already done 2 of them. I'm working on the 3rd. So I guess in some way you could consider that I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game, because I'm in the process of completing the second third of the game, and then I'll be working on the last third of the game. Once I'm actually done with the last treaty. So that's kind of what's going on as far as that goes. So anyways, so what's going on with Panther? What's going on with me? So, the wife and I are frantically trying to get ready for our first of 2 trips in August. We have 2 trips in August. The first trip, we've already got the first, we've got our bus fare paid for and the hotel reserved. And then we still need to buy the return bus fare, and then we also need to set aside the money to pay for the hotel. So even if that means like royally screwing some other bills and whatnot, and the only thing I pay is like my rent and maybe my rent and utilities would honestly be about it. Anything else at that point will go out the window. So or at least it'll be a late payment, and we'll have to go that way. So anyways, let me actually get back here to the software, mainly because I've noticing some lag. Yeah, it looks like honestly, I think it's because I've got too much shit open. So Gabriella, if you rip my headphones out again, I'm gonna whip your ass. Okay. Sorry, I'm noticing some things, so I'm going to I'm gonna save and exit out of some things so that my my processor and my RAM is not being so utilized. Probably should have done this beforehand, but that's all right. So anyway, so that's what we've got. I mean, that's gonna be, we're gonna be leaving. Well, we're gonna be out there August 2nd through the 6th. And honestly, the likelihood of me actually having anything during that week is slim. I'm going to attempt to actually do some recordings and then do some future date uploads, because I know that YouTube allows me to do that. and I haven't done it before, so it'll be interesting to try it. Twitch does not allow me to do that though, so all right, hopefully that helps. So anyways, I'm yes, I know there's lag. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know why, because I'm hardwired in. So I should have a consistent, solid 10 megabit connection all the way through. That being said, it is Rainier Connect, and unfortunately, Rainier Connect is affordable. They're not the best or the most stable when it comes to the internet. They work. I mean, they get the job done. I can't really complain as far as that goes. They get the job done. They allow me to do what I'm doing, but they're not the fastest. Comcast is much faster and much more reliable, but they're also almost 2 to 3 times the cost. I mean, for Rainier Connect, for home phone plus internet, I'm paying $114 flat. That's what I'm paying every month, consistent, no questions. That's what I pay. With Comcast, it's like, well, your bill base before taxes is $114. Oh, by the way, Dick over here needed something, so we're gonna upcharge you an extra $80. So your bill that's normally $120 is now $200. Just, it's fucking annoying. Comcast annoys the hell out of me because it's a constant battle. I don't change anything. My service, I have internet at a set speed and I have phone, or I have internet at a set speed plus TV, and it's set, and it's supposed to be a set amount every month, but it's not. It's 120. It's like 120 before taxes. And then taxes kick in, which kick us up to around 130-ish, thereabouts. And then consistently, it was 150, 160. I mean, somewhere in there. I mean, it was anywhere from... I mean, again, we're supposed to be at 130, so it was constantly $30 to $50 over what we're supposed to be at, even with taxes. And it's like, what the fuck are you charging me for? You're constantly overcharging me. Why are you overcharging me? And then they basically break it down. It's like, well, here's what the costs are. And basically it's, all right, so you're stupidly expensive. Okay. That's what it comes down to. You're just stupidly expensive. You charge me far more than what you need to. Okay. So anyways, that's kind of my rant. Although I constantly have a rant about that because Comcast just pisses me off. I hate being overcharged for shit. And I hate being quoted as... I hate, and it drives me nuts because Comcast isn't the only company that does this. They're just the company that I have the most experience with as far as this goes. I dealt with this with AT&T too, and Verizon. But Comcast is honestly the worst when it comes to this. Comcast will tell you, pre-tax, your bill is going to be, we'll say $115. After taxes, it should be $120, $121, somewhere around there. Usually around $5 to $6 in taxes. Not a big deal. I'm used to that. But consistently, again, my bill was anywhere from $5 to $95 more than what it should have been on a regular basis, without question. And it's like, why the fuck are you overcharging me? Why is it $5 to $95 more than what it should be? Why? And then I go through and I look through the bill and I add it up and it's like, it doesn't even add up. What? Why? So, anyways, I know I ran on this a lot, so I kind of apologize for that. But it does frustrate me and it does annoy me because Comcast isn't the only company that does it. Verizon does it too. Verizon is horrendous. Verizon for a cell phone company is stupidly expensive. And AT&T isn't much better. Just to be really honest, they're really not. The only real difference between the two is the technology that drives them. Verizon uses a different style of technology than AT&T does, although the LTE network technically actually uses what's called GSM technology, despite the fact Verizon will absolutely argue until they're blue in the face it doesn't use GSM technology, despite the fact that SimCheck technology is actually exclusive and specific to GSM technology. So yeah, you can argue that all day long, but you're not going to win that battle. You can try, go for it. But when you're dealing with somebody like me who's actually studied the difference in between the technology and actually knows what the acronym stands for, or at least one variation of the acronym, you're not going to win. I'll just smile at you and eventually laugh in your face because you're being ignorant and being stupid. So yeah. Anyways, what's happened with me over the last couple days? I know I've kind of stated this a couple times, but I'm going to go over it anyways. I have officially gotten back into Z Ultimate. It's been 2 years, actually a little longer than almost 2.5, 3 years now. I exited out of Z Ultimate in Colorado Springs September of 2014. Yeah, September of 2014. Because my wife and I were in the process. We sold our house and then we moved out here to Washington. Selling our house took longer than expected. It didn't. The house, actually, it was kind of amazing. We talked with a real estate agent. He put the house on the market in the morning, and it was sold by the evening. I mean, it was sold within a day. I think the specific timeline is, I want to say the house was sold within 8 to 16 hours, somewhere around there. We talked to him, or I want to say around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. The house was sold by 6 p.m. So I mean, it was. I mean, the house sold really, really quickly. What took forever was the actual signing and the closing. The closing is what took us the longest, because if I remember it got pushed at least 1 or 2 times. So that's kind of what happened as far as that goes. But anyways, how that relates is I hadn't officially actually been training in any form of martial arts since late September of 2014. So it's been. We're in 2017, so I mean, yeah, it's been almost 3 years at this point. And surprisingly, I remember, probably I want to say, I'll say 80%. I won't say 90. I will say 80. 80% of the material I remember. And the other 20% is I had to, since they had to step me through, or at least remind me how something started, or had to show me how something ended. So that's where the other 20% goes. It was in reminders and reteaching. Is where that went. So, but I'm really happy. I'm really happy to actually be officially back into training. The 30-day test drive ends later this month. So, we'll be starting the billing as far as that goes. If I remember right, the first official bill will actually come out July 27th is when I want to say the first bill will come out. It'll be July 27th will be the official bill. So, So that's what's going on as far as that goes, is I'm officially back into training. I'm actually really happy about that. My body is not so happy about it, though. My legs are really, really sore. It shows my muscles, my muscles protesting right now shows that I haven't been in training for almost 3 years. So the other part of that, though, is the MS. The MS has severely weakened in a lot of ways my muscle structure. And I've got to honestly, as much as I hate high stances, I'm going to have to adopt a lot higher stance than I would care to. Mainly because my left leg, especially on the left leg T-band, by the time the end of the hour was up, my left leg was pretty close to saying, "Dude, I'm gonna collapse on your ass." It was pretty shaky. When I started my private lesson, technically 2 private lessons, because the Ultimate does private lessons, and the private lessons are 30 minutes long. Due to the distance that I have to go, I'm in Eatonville and I have to go to Kent. So due to the distance, it's an hour drive, and that's provided the traffic is good. If it's shit traffic, it can be hour and a half, almost 2 hours, depending on how bad traffic is. Which is why I almost always leave an hour and a half before I really need to, because either A, I end up being 20 to 30 minutes early, or I end up being on time, or I end up being late, depending on traffic flow. And this time I was 20 minutes early. Although for a time it was looking like I was going to be like there at 1 o'clock, which didn't exactly make me happy, but I can't really control traffic. And intentionally leaving 2 hours before I need to be somewhere to equate for potential 2 hours of shit traffic, or potential of 1 hour of shit traffic, isn't always the best, of course, of plan. Because if I end up leaving and equating for an hour of bad traffic, I'll either A, end up there on time, or I'll end up there stupidly early. It's okay to be to a place early. It is okay to be there 20 to 30 minutes early. That's just being polite. It's being respectful of the person, especially when you're doing training. Getting there 20, 30 minutes early so you can get there, get into your gear, workout clothes, and then if you've got the time, stretching or meditating for a few minutes before you get started. It's good practice. It's respectful. It's good form. But getting there at 1 o'clock when you're supposed to be starting and then taking 5-10 minutes to get changed and powder your nose and do whatever the hell you need to do, that's being disrespectful. Not only is it being disrespectful to yourself, it's actually being very disrespectful to the person, because that person has other things to do. If you're training in martial arts and you have an instructor who's doing private lessons like the Ultimate does, and you get there at 1 o'clock and you're not even in your uniform and you take 15 minutes, well, you just wasted 15 minutes of your private lesson. And no, they're not going to give you 15 minutes at the end of your private lesson, because they've scheduled either A, another private lesson next to yours, or they've got marketing, or they've got other things that they have to do in order to maintain and run their business. And so you've shaked yourself 15 minutes because you decided to be a rude motherfucker who couldn't get there on time. So that's kind of my spiel on that. I try, to my detriment though, not always successfully, but I do try to be to where I need to be 15 minutes early, preferably 30, but at least 15. And again, it's respectful. It's also how I was raised. I was raised to be at a place 15 to 30 minutes before you need to be there. So, and when you're at a doctor's office, going to a doctor's office, that's actually really helpful, because if you get there 15 to 30 minutes early, you sign in, even though doctor's office have kind of a hurry up and wait mentality, you run a lot higher probability of actually being seen at 1 o'clock and actually getting out in a more timely fashion. Just something for you to think about. Anyways, sorry, I'm kind of ranting on a few things. I tend to do that though, so it's part of who I am. It's also part of the MS. The MS has just made it worse. So, anyways, just officially back into training made me really happy. I did not practice today. That's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. I didn't practice today because, again, my legs are just not happy. I wanted to give myself a day of rest. And then tomorrow I'm going to step through all of my materials. Unfortunately, I've got a book and a couple of DVDs that I can reference as far as my material goes, so I can actually I can actually put things back into memory and actually reset things. So that makes me really happy as far as that goes. So anyways, so I was mentioning first trip was August 2nd through the 6th. Second trip, we're actually going to see my father-in-law out in the Rhode Island, Maine area, and that is, if I remember, that's actually I want to say August 27th and that's going to be for a week, although that might be August 22nd for a week. I don't remember. It's either the 22nd or the 27th. I don't remember when we're leaving. But that's also going to be for a week. But again, for most of August, we're going to be out. One is a business trip and one is a family trip. So that's kind of what's going on. And the next, excuse me. The next about basically 2 months, month and a half at this point, is preparation. I'm trying to sell some things. We're going to be doing a yard sale. I don't expect to get a lot for it. I expect maybe $100, $200. If I get more than that, I'll be ecstatic. I really will. But I'm not expecting more than $100 to $200 out of the yard sale. I'm really not. The main thing I'm expecting is I've got a pair of QSC K10 powered PA speakers that I'm trying to sell. I've got a friend of mine who has them back in Colorado who's selling them for me. And honestly, they needed to be sold 6 months ago to a year ago. I mean, they needed to be gone by now, but they're not. And I have harassed him a little bit about it. Which reminds me, I'll probably send him another kind of harassment tomorrow or Monday. Although if he calls to check in, I'll nudge him again. I'll actually nudge him that way. But I'm expecting I won't accept anything less than 600 for those speakers, because I mean they're individually they're $650 a pop. So they're 12. I mean for the set they're $1,200 set. So for me to expect, honestly, me taking 600 for the set is being very generous. Just realistically, it is me being very generous. I'm accepting basically half of what you would pay for them full retail. And that's being very, very generous. So I honestly want 800 for them is really what I want. I want 8 is what I want for them. I mean, anybody, I mean, if I sold them to Guitar Center and they gave me 8 for them, they could still sell them for $1,000. They'd make a $200 profit and they'd still be saving somebody $200. So either way, I mean, they'd be making their money back. If they sold them for 6 and then sold them for $1,000 though, I would be a little pissed about that, because they'd be making a $400 profit off of me and not really saving the other person that much. So I mean, they'd be kind of saving the other person $200, but they would not be doing a justice to that person though. Just to be really honest as far as that goes. But I want at minimum 600, preferably 8 is what I want. If you're a DJ though, or you do pro audio or something like that, and you're interested, send me a or leave me something in the comments, and I'll get you the contact information for the gentleman that I have selling them. Although I might leave it in the description anyways, for you guys, so you can, if you're interested, you can give him a call and reach out to him. You'll need to let him know though. You'll need to when you leave a message though. You'll need to let him know that David. You'll need to use my legal name actually. You'll need to let him know that David Kaiser referred you to him in regards to the K10 speakers that he's selling. Although they might be K12s. I don't remember. They're either K10s or K12s. I don't remember. It's been too long. They're either K10s or K12s. Either way, they sell for $650 a pop retail. So the fact that I would be selling them for $600 for the set at minimum is a really fucking awesome deal. Again, I want 8. Just to be very, very clear, that's what I want. I want 8 for the set. Which is still a steal off of it, because that's $400 a speaker, which is still $250 savings. Excuse me. So anyways, that's kind of my rant as far as the speakers and what I want for them, and yeah. What else is going on with me? I've got an appointment with my neurologist on Monday, and then I've got another appointment Tuesday. So that's so neurologist Monday, different appointment Tuesday. So that's the appointments that I've got going on. Excuse me. I apologize. I just hit something on as far as like the night mode goes. Oh, that's a lot easier. That's a lot kinder on the eyes. Oh, that is so pretty. So pretty. I like that. So what I'm commenting on is that YouTube has a night mode function, and I just hit that, and it changed it from a white background to basically a dark gray, which is so much kinder on the eyes. It makes me happy. So yeah. Oh, okay. So let me. Nope. Oh, that's what that flag is. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so I've got my neurologist appointment on Monday, and that is one to check and see how well the steroids affected me. I did a 3-day course of steroids. That was not fun. It actually kind of sucked. But given the fact that I was having actually some really bad tremors, I was having some tremors in my jaw. I was having some tremors in I was having tremors in both my arms and both of my legs. But depending on which leg or arm it was, depending on the severity, my left hand and arm was really, really bad, actually. I still have a minor twitch or tremor in my left arm and hand, and I still get a minor tremor every now and again in my right leg, here and there. But it's not nearly the issues that it was before. So I'm hoping the steroids actually kind of resolved that, is what I'm hoping for. That being said, with the appointment on Monday, if we notice that if I'm still losing strength and it still looks like my current medicine, which is Gilenia, is not working, then we've got to do other things. So, but I'll let you guys know as far as that goes. Sunday. I am gonna be going. I kind of mentioned, or vaguely mentioned this, but I've got a 2.5-hour trip on Sunday. I am going to be visiting a lady who has a Keyshawn available for adoption. He's a 6-year-old. His name is Hero. And this is not set in stone. This is the initial meeting. This is not a guarantee, but this is the first step. So first step in regards to meeting him, I'm going to be bringing both of my puppies. Sorry, wife sent me a message. I just got to read it here real fast. Wife was being very sweet. So his name's Hero. He's a 6-year-old Keyshawn. Previous owner, the information that's been provided to me was previous owner had kept him pretty much crated for pretty much his entire life. for the most part, he's had pretty much no training whatsoever. So the current person who has him has been working on training with him, but he's a 6-year-old pup that has not really had any training. So there's going to be a lot of work as far as training goes. Fortunately, my wife and I are willing and able to do the training as far as what's needed. And I'm used to training dogs. I'm not an official dog trainer by any means, but I've had dogs most of my life, and I've had actually several dogs that I have actually had to train, because they've either had a lack of manners, or they didn't know how to sit, or they didn't know how to come, or I mean they just certain behaviors they didn't have, and so I've had to train them. So I'm used to training dogs. So I mean, it's not really a big deal as far as that goes. But that being said, if everything goes the way that I'm hoping, I've got my work cut out for me. So that's Sunday. Sunday's gonna be a fantastic day. It's a 2.5 hour drive to go and meet Hero. We're gonna be bringing both of my dogs, both Gabby and Sherlock, to meet Hero in his environment, so that we can see how they react, see how well they get along. And then, as long as everything on that goes well, then we're gonna set another appointment for Hero and the lady who's sheltering him right now to come out to our place and see how well Hero responds in our environment and to our pups in their environment. So so there's at least a 2-step process, and probably more. Just to be honest, most of these things are usually a 3 or 3 to 5 step process. It's usually a meet and greet in their zone, a meet and greet in our zone, and then and typically, but not always, a third meet and greet in a neutral zone, basically in an area that neither of the dogs are familiar with, but to see how well they respond to each other in a neutral environment, one that doesn't belong to either of the animals. So that's Sunday. So Sunday is really exciting for me. Pray for me, because if everything goes the way that I am hoping, I will have my emotional support dog, which will make me very, very happy. Because I desperately need an emotional support dog. Gabby is my wife's emotional support dog. She is not bad, but she is not my dog. She really isn't. There are times she kind of picks up on my mood every now and again, and is kind of good and is a little clingy every now and again. But she's not my dog. She doesn't pick up on me very well at all. Just truth be told. But again, she's not my dog. So, and if anybody if you guys know anything about Pomeranians or the Keys in general, Keys get very, very, very attached to their person. I mean, like, stupidly attached to their person. Once they're attached to you, they are very attached. They tend to reattach moderately easily. It usually takes a couple of months, but once they attach, they are attached. And you try and step anywhere without them following you is pretty close to impossible. And if you even step out of the house without them, they are super pissed. They do not like being separated from their person. So, which for me is actually really good, because I need a dog that actually has that level of attachment. Because this is an animal that is going to be going with me. This is a dog that I am actually going to get trained. I'm going to do the training, and then I know a place in, it's not Kent, Fife. I know of a place in Fife that actually does training. So I am going to be, as finances permit, I am going to be doing, I am going to be paying for training to get the dog fully certified. That's going to be a little bit of a process, though. Mainly because that training usually takes a couple of years, just to be really honest, and the dog's already 6 years old. So it usually takes 2 to 3 years for that type of training. So dog will be 8 or 9 by the time fully trained. But a lot of that is also dependent on how responsive the dog is to the training. If the dog is very responsive to the training, and I work with the dog every day for an hour or two as far as the training goes, then it speeds that training along usually quite a bit, because I am not every day I'm working with the dog. It's not I'm doing a course with the dog once every week. I'm doing a certified course with the dog once a week, and then I'm doing training with the dog the rest of the week. And so that helps dramatically. So anyways, that's so pray for me. I'm really hoping that that Hero can come and stay with us and find a forever home with us. Is very much what I'm hoping for. So anyways, it's about 12:25 my local time, so 12:25 Pacific Standard Time. My throat's starting to give out on me. I'm starting to cough a little bit despite the water that I'm drinking, and I'm at a point where I kind of need to kind of finish. I need to wind down for the rest of the evening and whatnot. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down at the bottom. Don't forget to hit that bell icon. Icon. What's an icon? Icon. So you guys get notified whenever I do these streams and uploads. And until the next time, this is Panther0822. I will see you guys next time. Peace out.